We about to jump into this review. We're reviewing the Cloverfield Paradox. Is the movie that got released on Netflix on actually Sunday. Mm-hmm. They actually put the commercial on the Super Bowl, and people was like, "Oh man, they got another Cloverfield movie. When that shit dropping?" They was like, "Dropping now." We're like, "Damn, what?"
Like, go turn on Netflix. It's there.
You know what? That was a damn good marketing.
That's a strong tactic, right?
Right,
there.
and because the thing is, nobody knew about this. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
When people was talking about it, said nobody knew that this was coming out. They kept it hush hush, and they made it they call it what was the name of it at first?
The God particle.
Yeah, so that's what everybody thought it was coming.
I think
what
part of it was, I think, and we'll get into this later, but like I think it was so late in production that they finally decided to make it part of this Cloverfield series.
Yeah,
that like it was just like, when we got something, we'll start talking about it.
And they did that same thing with 10 Cloverfield Lane. That was originally a movie. It was called like The Cellar or something. That was originally just supposed to be a movie about the dude who kept the person in the bunker. Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. And the whole 70, more like 90% of the movie was in the little bunker or whatever. And then once they got out, you start seeing all the Cloverfield stuff. Yeah. And that was originally just supposed to be that movie, like about being in the bunker or whatever. So they added the Cloverfield at the end. So that's kind of like what they did. So they taking these other movies and they throwing their little Cloverfield stuff on there, which is kind of smart. You already got a production, and you just throw the little shit in there, and then now you're connecting a whole universe off of other movies. Not a bad idea, but you better make sure you pick good movies, because you just start picking bullshit movies and throwing your universe in there, it's gonna make you look real bad. So that brings Cloverfield Paradox. So after the Super Bowl, I didn't watch it right after the Super Bowl, but I started hearing some buzz about it, and then I went on ahead and checked it out. So this movie was, like I said, it's connected to the Cloverfield universe, and so this is in 2028.
Yeah,
I think.
2028.
So in the year 2028, they get we got this big energy crisis. The world is run out of energy. It's nations are starting to fight each other over energy because we're running out. So you got Russia, always the aggressors. Russia's threatened to invade. I don't know which country, because of they're going to take all their energy. And
it's Germany or
some.
Yeah.
Everybody's at odds, and that's the way it is when resources get scarce. People start to get a little shady. Yeah. When we was all friends and singing Kumbaya, when we start running out of resources, we ain't that cool no more.
We're all citizens of the world. Fuck those guys.
Get what you can for yourself. So there's a lot of things going on in the world. So this they take this space mission, all the best scientists from different countries, maybe, and they go on the space mission to do some kind of what is they trying to do?
It's a particle accelerator,
right?
Basically, gonna try to collide two atoms, try to use the fission from those two atoms to create a perpetual energy machine to generate infinite energy.
Right, and they trying to solve the energy crisis, and they trying to stop the war. They trying to stop the world as we know it, before destroying each other because of energy, because we're out of energy. So that's basically what they trying to do. They trying to for real save the world, and so the movie kind of take off from there, and it becomes a kind of a battle film of the people in this space station or ship thing, and they took a lot of cues, or should I say they borrowed from a lot of different movies.
Yeah.
And the first movie to come to mind is Sunshine. I don't know if you've seen that one, where they had to restart the sun.
No, I haven't seen that.
It was the same kind of deal where these scientists went on the space station. The sun was running out of energy, and they had to, shoot it with something to restart the sun or whatever.
But they had to refill its helium?
Whatever, something like that. And the thing is, It started, and it's a lot similar to this, but this came out like in 09 or something, 07.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
So they borrowed from that, and then things on the ship. So once they tested the thing out, did it work?
It didn't work the first time.
Okay, and then the thing was once it worked, they was like, "Ooh, let's go home and tell them the shit worked." It's not there. Like, what the fuck? The Earth was not there. Like, well, the machine just messed up, and no, the Earth ain't there. I don't know. That's crazy.
I mean, like, some of the changes in this movie are really jarring.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They started to give away they started to give you little hints of what's going on early in the movie.
Yeah.
And I picked up on it, like, kind of right away. And it was kind of making me mad that the main characters wasn't picking up on the shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's make this a spoiler discussion.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about this shit.
Because, like, when old girl shows up in the wall.
Right, but before that, they had the dude talk about dimensions.
Oh, yeah.
And they was like, he said, yeah, when they use that machine, it's gonna start opening up different dimensions and things gonna go crazy. You just pretty much gave away the goddamn movie right there on that part. Because once he said that and the shit started going crazy.
Like, that's what, like 30 seconds in?
Yeah, right. Maybe not that soon, but it was like maybe 5-10 minutes in. You gave away your whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, they were talking about the paradox on the station.
Yeah.
Before they finally achieved it, and then no one thought to bring it up.
Oh, that made me so mad when things started to happen. Nobody was thought about. They kept having these looks on their face. What does that mean? What's going on?
How did this
happen? You just talked about how the fuck it could have happened before the shit happened.
Like you in
and what was you gonna say about Oyelowo?
Well, like going back.
Because once they did the thing. Once they was it Atom Smasher,
Particle Accelerator.
Right. Once they did the Particle Accelerator, things started to fuck up. Things started to go crazy.
And like I was bothered because what's the names? Mundi and Monk had a conversation about the paradox, and they're the most confused once shit starts going weird.
That's such bullshit.
Like everybody else is like, all right, let's calm down.
So you use them for exposition, and then once it's time to figure out what's going on,
that shit
they forget.
They filmed that shit late. You know they did.
Yeah, they straight forgot what they just talked about. Yeah. Really, man?
Yeah,
you can't make a movie like that, dude.
And so, like, you find old girl in the walls, and like, that's a creepy scene in and of itself, and I enjoyed that. You know, everybody trying to figure out where the screaming's coming from.
Right, and then so it was obvious to me. Soon as they did the accelerator, and soon as they was talking about extra dimensions, okay, they collided with another dimension.
Yep.
People from the other dimensions are getting into their dimension. Mm-hmm. You know, which I mean, if you know anything about comics, the multiverse, you know, everybody, it's all these infinite universes that's just like your universe, but you know, things are slightly different or whatever.
And for me, like, cause I had a feeling where this was going to go. Because, like, if you read any kind of Lovecraftian horror or, like, some of Jim Butcher's novels, when two dimensions, you know, interact with each other, they don't play along.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the...
That's the whole thing. Like,
that's
you don't just get to walk it. You don't just walk through that door.
Yeah.
You know, and so when shit starts going wrong, I'm like, okay, what else is going to act up?
Well, and, you know, and I'm going to tell you some stuff that I did like. When things was coming from other dimensions into their dimension, it happened. It wasn't convenient.
No.
Where when I say that is, I mean it might have been convenient for the plot, but things like they had the earthworms.
Yeah.
Did it?
Dear God.
They had some decent little body horror stuff.
Yeah.
So they had the earthworms look like it disappeared, right?
Yeah.
And then
like
where the earthworms go? They went in the dude's body.
And exploded out.
Was they eating themselves out?
No. Like, because what it was...
What made it explode?
Because after he died, the worms had been eating his body, but as his body was decomposing and inflating with gas...
Oh, the gas made it.
And so finally just...
Pop. Yeah, and that's what when they universe collided, those worms kind of got teleported in his body or something.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that happened, but it happened. It was wow.
It was a few things that happened that, like,
and then old boy got his arm taken off.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna get to that. So I mean, when things like that was happening, I was like, okay, is it like a hole to get to the other dimension? Because when his arm went through, and I think maybe it was like a portal or something in the walls or something. I don't know. It was like, it seems like, because why was she in the wall? You know what I'm saying? It seemed like things got sucked.
And so, like, the way I'm thinking about it is, like, because they were temporarily occupying the same space.
Okay.
So some stuff phased in, some stuff didn't.
Okay, yeah.
And as the other one gets knocked off course, because remember, the space station in the dimension that they came into had crashed.
So they was all dead.
It was all dead.
So she
ended up getting.
She got sucked into they dimension.
So like
right before they ship crashed.
So where they ended up,
the lady that was in the water.
Yeah. So like they suddenly came into existence. She happened to be in the right spot to end up in their wall.
Okay, but everybody else was already dead.
I think they got knocked off course by them breaching into their dimension.
Yeah, so they caused them to die,
right.
And they didn't even know.
Right.
You know, I mean, and there's a lot of questions like that.
Though,
so
because now, like you said, there's a lot of weird questions. The arm that they found wasn't old boy's arm.
So why did he lose his arm then?
Exactly.
And why did he? That's what I was saying. So if the other dude lost his arm from the other dimension, that's fine. But why did he lose his arm? And that's the exact arm he lost.
So
it had to be his arm.
I'm gonna take it one, but he didn't have any control over it.
That too, they didn't have no control over it. One and
second,
two, how the fuck he had a mind of his own?
Exactly.
Who was writing the shit down?
That was the creepiest thing in this whole movie.
So was they still alive in the other dimension?
I don't know. Like, not only that. First off, how did it have a mind of its own? How did it know where the gyroscope was?
Yeah, so maybe that's coming from the other dimension. That's what I'm saying. Are they in the other dimension still alive? And if they was still alive in the other dimension, how the fuck did his arm even know what it's looking at? It don't have eyes or nothing. You know what I'm saying? All I can figure is they looking at their dimension, and he's like, "Damn, that's my arm. I'm gonna tell my arm to say that."
Yeah. But even then, how would they know where the gyro was? It just suddenly was in them.
Yeah, I know.
And this is something I was thinking of.
Maybe they're saying the gyro came from their dimension, but they knew it ended up in his body.
But this is something I was thinking of. So your boy, what was his name? The Russian dude.
The one with the worms in him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone was talking to him.
Okay.
I'm thinking he ended up occupying the exact same space as his alternate.
Right.
That's why his
eyes started moving.
And that's why he suddenly went to go kill Schmidt.
Right. Because in his universe, in the alternate universe,
he knew that
that dude was betraying them.
Right.
The German dude was betraying them
right.
or some shit like that. But that's not in this universe. I got that. But my problem was
none of this shit makes sense.
Yeah.
None of this shit makes sense.
I had got that. Shit. I'm trying to think. I had a problem with. See, you made me lose. I was about to say, and you brought something else up, and I forgot. It was something with the Russian dude did. He tried to kill him. Then I had some other problems. Oh, let's talk about the movies they ripped off. This is Event Horizon.
Yeah.
This is a big rip off of Event Horizon. I already said they ripped off Sunshine. So then now they ripped off Event Horizon too, with the ship playing. What? Something go?
No.
Oh, with the ship playing with them and different dimensions and all that. So okay, but what the fuck was the shit on Earth with her husband, with the little kid and shit?
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out.
I feel like that was a whole nother movie.
That was a whole.
Or they meant to have this movie do something different, and they just kept that in. It's like, since you changed this movie to be part of Cloverfield, you need to cut that out all the way together. They should have cut out all that shit. Because now he with some kid like, I'm going to get you to your parents or something. I'm like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Where this kid come from? Where did that kid come from? Did they show that?
Yeah, when he was going to the hospital, he found her in the burnt out remains of that building. I don't know if that was the hospital or
so,
not.
but their whole dynamic, they made it seem like that was a whole subplot that went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Really. You know? And I'm like, okay, why are they even showing this? You know? Things on the ship is a little more a little more intriguing than this, but that's fine. They also they copied off Alien too with the chest bursting scene.
Yeah.
Basically with the it was the worms and shit, but that was a all the way Alien moment with the way they had their body position and all that.
Man, like
y'all tried to copy off a little too many movies, a little too ambitious there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of like some of the little fake outs, like because they had a bunch of moments where it was like where they would basically just tell on themselves, like when they show you how the picture of the crew has Jensen in it, instead of Tam. Yeah,
I mean, it was things that they was making it so easy. I figured it out. Yeah. They was making it easy to figure out. Okay. The dimensions are colliding with each other, and you know, and this world is this way, that world is that way. I figured it out, but for some reason, this crew could not figure it out until the fucking last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
and I'm so mad because y'all had all the clues in which y'all knew,
and they're supposed to be intelligent.
Yeah, and they just could not, and they just looking so confused about everything, and I'm thinking like you just not only the dude was telling them about the dimensions. The dude was like, turn that off. Like okay. So when things started happening like that, things that was unexplainable, you should automatically knew,
like,
okay.
That's the moment I'm like, all right, tell me more about this paradox. I think we in it.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk, so this is spoiler discussion, I'm going to talk about some of the kills. One of my favorite ones was when with the Chinese lady, which I think they was trying to appease the Chinese audience because, God damn it, she didn't speak English. And everybody, for some reason, understood everything she said in Chinese, and she understood everything they said in English. They might as well have a translator or something, like a little translator they put in their ear where they talk one language, they talk another language. They didn't have that, but for some reason
they showed at least 3 of them speaking Mandarin. So.
Yeah, okay, but some reason they understand what she said all the time. But her death was kind of they did that kind of cool, where I guess the section filled up with water, and then there was a hole breach. Right.
And so when it finally
instead of getting sucked out, she just fucking froze.
Yeah.
That's probably how it would happen.
Because all like it was just immediately sucked all the heat out.
I know.
So it was just flash froze all that water.
I know. And that was a fucking damn cool.
That was a cool effect. Man.
Which not sure if it'll look exactly like that, but that's close as you're gonna get to realistic what'll really happen. Because you know some movies they have them sucked out and you know what I'm saying.
There'd probably be
Princess
like
Leia moment.
And depending on who made the movie, it would just be globs of water floating in space.
Yeah, they have water, then they have her.
And then like with a close up of the eye freezing.
Yeah. Nah. You ain't got time for no I love you. No, it's you just done.
I'm gonna tell you one I liked, your boy that lost his arm, when the metal putty decided to reach out and grab his ass.
And that was like, what the fuck was that?
So there was some kind of magnetic disturbance. That's why it was sucking all of the tools and everything into the wall.
Yeah.
And so it was pulling on the putty too. And conveniently, again, not for him.
Is he standing against the wall?
No. Like, it's just like he's right up there looking at the shit. And just as the putty gets to moving past him, the magnetic event stops. And the putty, which is electrified, resumes its former shape, bringing him with it.
Yeah, so, I mean, everybody pretty much died. And then we had your old double cross. I saw that coming.
Though I had to say, before you get on to that, Metal was not his friend.
Yeah, you talking about dude who lost his arm?
First,
okay,
I'm just saying.
No, keep going, but...
First the wall ate his arm, and then he got eaten by the fucking putty, strangled him to death.
Yeah, that guy's a funny guy. I forget what movie I seen him on, but I seen him do a lot of little comedy. But we're moving on
the
to
double cross.
Moving on to the end, the double cross. The lady that was found on the wall, which they do this. I forget what other was that. Event Horizon maybe too.
I think there was Event Horizon
where you get the new crew member. Where you come from? Or these in the other movies. They always act like they're your friend and they'll help you, and then they double cross you. Either it's for a noble reason or it's for their own selfish reasons. Yep. But they always do the double cross. Now, that's another cliche. They did a lot of cliches in these kind of movies, where she double crossed them because she was trying to save her world. Was she trying to save?
She was trying to save her world because since they could get the particle accelerator running, it would take too long to rebuild theirs. So she was just going to keep theirs.
Yeah. Right, and then use it again, and so she was gonna try to go back to her.
No. So she was in her dimension. They ended up in her. Dimension.
Okay, yeah. So she just tried to escape with the.
So she just wanted to keep the accelerator.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of sending them home.
Right, but she had to kill them to do that because they just like fuck that. They could have just stayed. Shit, her family was there. I mean,
she wouldn't have been allowed in that family, but
I know. you gonna let your double come?
I mean, unless it was a twin situation. No. It's like maybe her man would have tried to convince her. It's like, but I could have two of you.
So, all right, wrapping this up, man. It was a lot of cliches. It had some interesting things in there.
There was some cool visuals.
It was some cool visuals. To me, it looked like a real incomplete movie. Let's talk about how they combine these universes. How they put the Cloverfield universe in this, because it seemed to be the part where the first Cloverfield movie, where the monster star was attacking or whatever.
Yeah,
it seemed to be that's what it picked up at. The end of this movie picked up at. Where she was coming back and her husband was like, "Tell her don't come back. It's too many. It's all the stuff that's going on here. All these monsters here. Don't come back." I'm figuring that's like when the monsters attack.
Because we get a brief look when he finds the girl of it moving through the smoke.
Were you talking about the? You talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We see some kind of thing moving through the smoke.
So yeah. That was the connection to the Cloverfield universe with this monster. So the monsters they trying to say they brought the monsters here from another dimension.
Yeah.
And when they made it back to Earth, the monsters had already attacked. And then the Cloverfield Lane was after the monsters attacked too. Mm-hmm. They had just another part. They got into a bunker.
And then Cloverfield was just some found footage from when it
first happened.
Yeah.
Now, this supposed to happen in 2028, but when I'm hearing, they supposed to play with time. So they might not be in their dimension. They might. That's possible, when she came back, she might be in a different dimension.
Yeah.
So this is is this now? Is this in 2018?
I don't know.
Whenever she came back, the monster is currently attacking.
Yeah.
And they gave us a little shot at the end, which was a cool shot.
It's a cool shot, but it's like the whole linking up of the Cloverfield movies is so weak.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
I know.
It's like, here's a monster shot. Now you know it's the same universe.
But see, that's them trying to be lazy and use other movies to link this universe instead of making three separate their own movies. They taking other movies and just throwing a little piece of their stuff in there to try to link it.
Yeah,
and now it's
because each time, like with Cloverfield Lane and with this one, it started out as another movie, and someone said, "Well, let's just link this up with that at the last minute." Yeah, and it didn't. It's cool, but this movie shouldn't have been the movie y'all did it with, because the original Cloverfield I really liked. And they set up a good monster movie, and the fact that they was going to do a sequel, and 10 Cloverfield Lane was real good too. Mm-hmm. But this right here, showing where they come from and all that, it's kind of weak. And they got another one coming out after this.
Oh yeah,
yeah, called
Is it supposed to be what's going on now, or was it after everything?
No, this one's set way back when. This one's like medieval or dark age.
Okay,
and it's called Overlord.
Okay, that sounds like a joke. But anyway,
that's what
They might as well call it Evil Overlord.
Bow before the Overlord.
So moving on, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I give this movie. I'm gonna have to give this movie. I'm gonna give it an alright. I was gonna give it a whack. I'm gonna give it an alright, which is basically because one, it came out on Netflix, so it was like renting it. And if it came out in theaters, I'd be like, man, fuck this shit. So I give it alright because I sat down, watched it, and I'm like, okay, it had some okay stuff there, and it had some parts that didn't make sense and silly stuff, and it gave away the damn ending in the beginning. But I'm gonna give it alright because it was okay.